Thomas Barnett's America's New Map tackles how the United States can restore global leadership amid climate change and demographic collapse. This analysis comes from Barnett's comprehensive examination of America's strategic position in a rapidly changing world. Like a broken rope bridge over a chasm, America stands at a precarious crossroads between progress and retreat. The nation faces a stark choice between embracing future challenges or escaping into the comfort of past nostalgia. Economic decline often breeds authoritarian tendencies as nations reject reinvention and scapegoat internal forces for their troubles. America's greatest achievement was creating the interconnected global system we now call globalization. Over 7 decades, America built a liberal trade order that flows goods, services, technology, and investment across borders worldwide. This economic integration strategy directly aimed to prevent world wars through inclusive prosperity and interdependence. America's approach generated more wealth and reduced more poverty than the previous 5 centuries combined. The post-Cold War era brought new challenges as America became the world's sole superpower. After the Berlin Wall fell, America's dominance led to overreach, which was wisely balanced by encouraging other powers' rise. The 2008 Great Recession showed Americans that their success in raising other economies had reduced their global steering power. Despite claims of deglobalization, the world actually transformed into increasingly digital services and content flows. Creating a global middle class triggered superabundance and consumption that paradoxically made Americans reject their own creation. 3 massive global forces now challenge humanity's future, all unleashed by globalization's very success. Climate change remaps the planet, creating crises in equatorial regions while opening northern economic opportunities. Middle Earth, the lower latitudes extending 30 degrees north and south of the equator, can no longer sustain its exploding populations. Climate change creates a stark divide between expanding northern wealth and declining equatorial sustainability. The second force is humanity's unprecedented demographic transformation toward aging societies. Globalization's rapid integration of Asia accelerated aging patterns that reverse both natural and historical population trends. For the first time in history, elderly populations will surpass young ones in nation after nation. This demographic shift connects to youth-driven conflicts, elderly social rigidity, middle-class nationalism, and superpower competition. America uniquely possesses the capacity to avoid extreme aging through union expansion and strategic growth. The third force emerges from the collision between climate change and demographic transformation. This collision will reshape Middle Earth's needs and priorities while intensifying competition among major powers. 5 superpowers, the US, EU, China, India, and Russia, will compete to address these needs and expand their influence. Each superpower will develop comprehensive North-South integration models spanning security, economics, and politics. While Putin and Xi openly pursue new global maps, America remains distracted by domestic political infighting. The economic stakes of this competition will determine which superpower shapes the global future. The integration race becomes an ideological brand war to prove which economic model best serves the global middle class. Capturing middle-class political loyalty will determine which superpower's definition of stability dominates the coming decades. America must choose between obsessively guarding its borders or engaging in the global integration necessary for continued influence. Superpower competition is fundamentally shifting from traditional East-West dynamics to North-South integration models. Past competition focused on capturing the other side's players. Future competition centers on comprehensive regional integration. Success in North-South integration will determine whether America maintains dominance or yields to Chinese or Indian leadership. Regional and hemispheric integration represents the 5th major force reshaping global trade patterns. Supply chain optimization creates regional efficiency and consumer blocks, remapping global value chains for better trade. The evolution from global to regional manufacturing shows positive development as Asia now produces mainly for itself. Superpowers with the most demand power will control global consumer tastes, a dominance America once held. Population size becomes crucial in the struggle to shape globalization's future direction. Future superpowers will succeed through billions of loyal subscribers, not millions of lethal soldiers. America's smaller population disadvantages it against the far more populous China and India. America can overcome this disadvantage by integrating hemispheric neighbors to scale its demand power and economic gravity. By mid-century, we'll all live in somebody's world, and Barnett clearly prefers America's map over China's. America enjoys natural advantages for North-South integration within its own Western Hemisphere. The Western Hemisphere offers superior natural resources and less crowded, conflicted conditions than the Eastern Hemisphere. The Americas share cultural and civilizational values that provide a strong foundation for deeper integration. Hemispheric integration will help America manage climate impacts while adding latent consumer power and extending global influence. Current domestic resistance to integration seems to contradict its apparent inevitability. America's present xenophobia paradoxically highlights the powerful pull toward the very integration path citizens now fear. Central American climate refugees already stressing the border directly connect to broader integration pressures ahead. While technological climate solutions will help, adaptation strategies offer more immediate and practical responses. Hemispheric integration builds on proven models rather than requiring entirely new approaches. Both EU political integration and Chinese economic integration ultimately aim for security integration and sphere defense. America's defensive alliance revival contrasts with the forward-leaning, world-shaping approach befitting its superpower status. Americans serve as globalization's original revolutionary networkers, connecting the world through their expansion. America offers nations increased connectivity to economic opportunities and transformative, disruptive content. America provides revolutionary connectivity and opportunity while China and Russia offer surveillance, restriction, and control. America's internal political conflicts undermine its global leadership at this critical historical moment. Domestic infighting directly affects how the world perceives America's ability to navigate an uncertain future. Americans increasingly resent the globalization they originally created, but that no longer matches their current preferences. America's success in creating the modern world cost it control over that world, exactly as designed. Climate change has pushed globalization's evolution beyond any single nation's ability to control. Climate-driven movement of all life creates a churning of races, species, and microbes beyond anyone's control. America's role as globalization's laboratory remains constant despite changing global circumstances. The United States serves as a petri dish for globalization's evolution, remaining the world's integration source code. America simultaneously demonstrates integration through its melting pot dynamics and disintegration through racism and culture wars. America equals globalization in miniature, serving as the proof of concept for global integration processes. America's unique superpower lies in its capacity for historical transformation and global rule-setting. Americans don't endure history, they make it, and this active approach represents their true superpower. America's process involves resetting internal rules in response to change, then spreading those improvements globally. American grand strategy shapes global environments that moderate both competitors and America's own worst impulses. Internally, brittle regimes like Russia and China currently outpace America's half-hearted global leadership efforts. Russia and China aggressively market their competing rule sets while America makes only weak attempts at leadership. When creators abandon their creations, monsters emerge to fill the vacuum, explaining current global instability. Barnett's mission is proposing a positive future vision specifically from an American perspective. The author proposes a happy ending, while readers must maintain open minds about its feasibility. If America's best days lie ahead, citizens must actively craft future storylines rather than passively wait. Throughlines provide the analytical framework for understanding persistent drivers of American and global development. This framework encompasses the navigational knowledge needed to guide America's leadership, business, and citizens through coming challenges. Throughlines branch into national and global drivers that Americans must confront, balance, and trade off strategically. Think of throughlines as history's guardrails, forcing consideration of previously unthinkable but necessary future choices. Connecting threads within each throughline relate to America's internal decision-making while maintaining consistent national character. The book's storytelling approach will reveal the pathways for America's strategic future. Through storytelling, we discover the specific contours of America's new map for restored global leadership.